As Thunder applauds, I dropped the script here. So good morning, everyone. I'm Jim Smith, the president here at Northern State University, and I'm not sure this microphone's on. Now it is. Some of you know for a room this size, I really don't need a microphone, that I could do it well without it. You can't hear me back there, Mr. Jordry? That's almost impossible to believe. I will amplify. Welcome, everyone, to the grand opening, the official grand opening of the Student Center here at Northern State University. Most of you know our dedication today is really not the official opening, because the official opening was the first day we had people in here eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but it is the official one in that we're saying we're 99.29% finished with the building and ready to go forward. Some of you are laughing, particularly the guys up here, because they know that 29 may be 19 or 09. There's always things that we'll modify and be doing in the next few weeks. But it's a great pleasure to have all of you here, particularly all the students that are assembled. I thank you. I want to particularly thank the students. It was their dream. It was a facility that had run its course. And most of us know that. As you look at this facility today, it's very, very different than the facility you saw 16 months ago or 15 months ago. It is in keeping with what the students wanted. And I just want to share a few of the things that the students said as we started this project. They wanted an expanded student center. They wanted it to happen. They wanted more seating areas. They wanted more areas to hang out. Very technical term for architects. How do you create hangout space, Chris? I'm not sure. They wanted expanded dining space and expanded dining options, and they needed fireplaces. Now, let me add, they needed fireplaces. Some of us may argue, Thunder, of course, is a student, so Thunder's clapping for the fireplace spaces. Some of us wonder if it's a need or a want, but I have to say, this morning, probably at 6:30, it was probably kind of comforting to come down here and sit next to a fireplace. And I can only imagine February morning at 6:30 how enjoyable it will be. There are fireplaces on both floors for those of you who have not done a tour, and it really is part of the hangout part of the expansion. The students taxed themselves. They essentially voted to pay more in their student fees in order to be able to have a facility of this sort. And I've said this before, but it gives me great pride to know that our students said, we want something and we're willing to pay for it. And that's a real testimonial, because we know tuition has risen in the past few years. We know the cost of textbooks have gone up in the past few years. The student says, look, this isn't just important to us. It's important to the next generation of wolves and the next generation and the next generation. One student said to me, I think my grandkids are going to enjoy this. I said, I'll probably have 4 remodels before your grandkids are here, but I'm sure they will indeed enjoy it. I want to thank all of you who have lived through this. The bookstore group's kind of in the middle here. I don't know how we conducted bookstore business this summer. Beth, you still have all your hair and you appear to be sane, so evidently it worked. There were times I came down here and there were sheeting of Visqueen and we were selling books underneath it. And the things that you have to go through during remodeling, I'm certainly sensitive to. Living in Crickhack and Spafford right now, I remember the feeling of the drill when I was in 5th grade from the dentist. That's the way it sounds in Spafford and Crickhack every day now, because we are living through remodeling, so I have a whole new level of empathy for those of you who lived through this. Some of you know we had student affairs staff that were in Graham Hall. We had student affairs staff. Our multicultural office was actually an old catering and vending area, and we really lived through a lot of pain to make that happen. But I think we'll all agree sometimes without some pain you don't get gain, and today is really an example of that gain, what we've been able to add to the facility. I need to thank a number of you, and I'm sure I'll overlook someone, and since Brenda said she was doing these as folks came in, she wrote them too small in my font. I need glasses. Are you going to hold it clear out there for me, Thunder? Thank you. I don't have vision problems. My arms are just too short. Some of you know that JDH, a local firm, was the general contractor for this project, and I want to thank the folks from JDH who are assembled. Jack Hollingsworth, who is CEO and president of JDH, Renee Jarvis, Cindy Topol, and Steve Hiddle are all here from JDH. Thank you, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Monty Melhoff is in the back, and Monty is just one of a team of many who in the last few days really came together to get the facility the way we wanted it for today. It is much like Grandma and Grandpa are coming to visit and you want your house to look perfect. We spent an awful lot of time in the last few days, and I want to thank Monty and the entire facilities crew for all their work. Literally, we were painting handrails at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon because when you move as many things in and out, you chip a handrail occasionally. So we were painting those as late as 5 o'clock yesterday. So Monty and the facilities crew, thank you very much. No building of this size ever gets built without an architect. It probably wouldn't be best if people like Dr. Holly and I tried to draw the plans. That would be a little disastrous. So Chris Schultz is here from Koch Hazard Architects. And Chris, we want to thank you for the architectural design and the beauty of the building. Thank you very much. Don Erlenbush has been back twice now in about 2.5 weeks, and he said he's tired of this. He's a retired guy. Many of you know Don was our long-term vice president for finance and administration. Don actually was one of the first people I talked to about this project, and if you know me and you know Don, we kind of have different speeds. I'm overdrive, and Don's always a little cautious. The first time I said, Don, I think we're going to pull this off, and it's going to be over $6 million, Don was wringing his hands in my office. So I'll never forget that look. Don, thank you very much for coming back. A couple of representatives that represent the entire city, and it's always a joy, and I have to say Einstein Bagels has been a nice attraction for the city. We have more city folks coming and joining us, and we have a ladies group that's here every Wednesday morning, I believe, and it's really nice to see that component. We have two representatives that I think are really fundamental of the great relationship we have with the city. Mayor Leeson is in the middle back here, and City Manager Lynn Lander was, I thought, over here, oh, over there. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Most of you know we did this about a week or so ago. We were in the Barnett Center and doing another one of these ribbon cuttings because we just finished the expansion of the Barnett Center. We are braggadocious is the only word I can think of about the work that we're doing here. So as you go on the tour today, you're going to see a little 2-sheet handout here. Kind of strange. It's lots of maroon and gold in the print. I'm not quite sure why that happened, Brenda, but I'm guessing it's because it's our university colors. This tells you all the projects we have going on, not only this project in the Barnett Center, but the Krikak Auditorium that we are very close to finishing, the Graham and Lincoln Hall remodel. We did a science remodel for about $2.9 million 2 years ago, parking lot and landscaping, and then we have a couple coming attractions, just like we do in the movie world. Coming attractions, Administration Building in Spafford Hall. That slow-speed drill will stop someday, and we will have heating and cooling and no more window air conditioners. And last, we are starting the design process for a very large addition to the Johnson Fine Arts Center. So stay tuned. You like that, Thunder? All right, all right. Stay tuned for more to come on campus as we try to meet the needs of the 21st century and the needs of students today as opposed to the needs of students 10 or 15 years ago, which, believe me, there's a vast divide between what we're able to do today and what we were able to do just 10 or 15 years ago. I recognize the folks who are with us today as dignitaries, but I have to say to all of you who have endured, who have come by in the summer, who have asked questions, who have said, you know, this is really going to be wonderful. I want to thank all of you because it's your support that keeps us going. We wouldn't do these kind of things just because the cabinet thought it was a good idea or because we had a small group of folks that thought it was a good idea. We really all believed in this project and other projects like it because we want Northern to be the best that we can possibly be, and with your support, we're able to do that. So thank you all for your support during the summer and early fall semester for this building, and again, thank you to the students. It's now my pleasure to bring up the president of the NSU student body, Zach Anderson, and Zach's going to have a few words to share with us, and then we're going to have several past and present, NSU presidents up here to do the final ribbon cutting. Zach? All yours.
Thank you, President Smith. I'll try to talk as loud as he does. I don't know if I can do that, but I would also like to take the time to thank everybody for coming out this morning. It means a lot to see so much community support as well as campus support for this fantastic building. Because I was honored to be an Arts and Sciences Senator when this was going through with President Monga at the time, at the Board of Regents, it's really phenomenal to see everything just come together and see how everything turned out. The proposal that was made to the Board of Regents was one of which the students wanted and thus the students strived to get. I've always been an advocate for student voice, and I know that this building is and for this building, the students were heard. One of the voices that was being spoken with this renovation was the students wanted more grab food options from Java City. The way that voice was accommodated was with the options made from Einstein's Bagels, which has tons of different options for grab and go food. Another addition to the students wanted was more, as President Smith said, hangout space, as everybody knows is not an architectural term, but that's how students see it. And that was met by the glass rooms that are back there, the glass rooms that are here, the fireplaces that you can see both levels. I can see students here now hanging out all the time, using the glass rooms as study space or just hangout space. And as the president of the Student Association, I have and I will continue to voice the voice of student concerns, wants, and needs. I appreciate all the hard work that JDH Construction put into this. As working here over the summer and being here, I've gone through some of the things that President Smith said, the construction process, as well as hearing the concerns of the people who are working here. I know Residence Life was in a cramped office as well as all the other offices, but they were very patient with us with working through the construction and got what jobs needed to be done at the time. For me, it's to see everyone back under one roof working for students is a great thing to me. I know there's a lot of faculty and staff that go into making students' lives easier and better and making this university a better place. And to see them all back under one roof, or at least where we're supposed to be, makes it a lot easier for students to find as well as work to make an even better university than what we have now. Again, I would like to thank you everybody for coming out this morning, and I hope you get a chance to tour our wonderful facility, and that's all I have to say. So, thank you.
Zach, thank you. We are going to do an official ribbon cutting here, but we have some generations of folks that I would like to introduce. This was not a one-year project. Some of you say, well, a year ago, it seemed like ground broke, and now a year later, maybe a year and a couple months, it's all done. We had student discussions as long ago, DJ, 3.5 years ago, to talk about how we were going to take a vote, maybe even 4 years ago. It came almost right as I came. We started talking about how to take a vote, how to see if there really was the student interest that we thought there was, and then how would we get student government to represent that student interest. So we have two former presidents of student government who are here. DJ Monga, who works here in town, and he didn't wear green today, works at another university now. And my biggest fear was you'd wear green and I'd have to go run and get you a shirt real quick. DJ was student body president 2 years ago. Rebecca Allen is directly seated next to DJ. She was last year's student body president. And I'm going to ask Cody Karras, who is the vice president of student government, and Zach to come up, and we are going to do the official cutting. And I'd like our cabinet to come up behind us. So we're going to get pretty close to this first row, but we're going to vacate the first row. So I think it's going to work, and we're going to officially cut this with Bugs Bunny ribbon cutters over here that are really big scissors. So here we go. Okay, guys, you're going to cut. Might need to move just a little forward. Yeah, you get one side, you get the other side. Try to get cabinet over on this side. All right. You want a picture first? Okay, I'll get on this side then. Okay, we ready? 1, 2, 3, cut. Congratulations. Thank you all. Thanks to the cabinet for joining us. We've listened to an awful lot about the project, so I wanted cabinet to represent us as the senior leadership team, but also to represent the faculty and staff for our great interest in this project. The last part may be the most fun. We're actually going to do tours. And some of you will say, well, I kind of know where everything is. This is your chance to figure out, is it where it's supposed to be? Isn't that what you said, Zach? Everything's almost where it's supposed to be. So I think it will be where it's supposed to be. I hope that you'll enjoy the tours. I think we have 2 tour guides. Is that correct? Where are our tour guides? We're rushing to find our tour guides. Mr. Vogel's pointing, yes, we have tour guides. Would you like the tour guides to be at the top of the steps, Alan? So we can divide into multiple groups. We don't have to just go in twos, but Mr. Vogel will have a couple tour guides, and then we have folks from admissions as well. If you can't do a whole tour and you'd like to just kind of wander through the building, you're more than welcome to do that. The tour guides will be able to give you a lot more information. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your excitement for this project. I always say the same last 2 words, Thunder. You ready? Go Wolves! Good work. Good work, Thunder. Thank you.